Yo, what's up? The NFL draft first round just concluded, like very recently, and I'm just gonna react to every single pick, give my thoughts on each of the picks. And yeah, I think the first two don't really need explaining. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, they've been locked in for a real long time, so that just makes sense. Then number three, yeah, Trey Lance. It's really like shocked up. Like today, everybody was kind of like, oh yeah, they're gonna take Trey Lance, and I like the pick personally. I think Trey Lance has very high upside and he can sit behind. I don't think he could start straight away, to be honest. He maybe could, but be very risky. So a good developmental player. And then the Falcons, they stayed put, took Kyle Pitts. I think it's a good pick. They didn't overthink it. Oh wow. Yeah, they didn't overthink it. They took Kyle Pitts. And overall that's just a really good pick at this point. And then the Bengals, they went Jamar Chase. People have mixed feelings on this. I think now looking at what's happened in this draft, it's good because there's so many good tackles are still. Tevin Jenkins is still on the board, but in the second round they have an early pick, so they can get their tackle in the second round if they want. And yeah, so I don't mind it now. At the time, I was like, why would they not take Penei Sewell? But yeah, the Dolphins though, I don't really like the Jalen Waddle fit for their offense. He can probably take over from Will Fuller, but Will Fuller, you already got your deep threat, and Tua doesn't really throw the ball that deep. He just doesn't have that arm. And then Penei Sewell was on the board. I would have preferred Penei Sewell personally, so I don't really like that pick. And then the Lions, they get a really good pick in here, really good steal. Penei Sewell, Dan Campbell, love this pick. They'll be running the ball down people's throats with Penei Sewell in there. They're kind of building that O-line, which is pretty good now. You can slide Vitae maybe into guard. You can play the tackle, or Penei can play the guard. And then that O-line is pretty decent now, so I like that pick. And this might have been a bit surprising pick, but I kind of thought they could have took corner with the Panthers taking J.C. Horn. Yeah, people prefer Patrick Surtain. I thought Patrick Surtain was the best corner. But they really like J.C. Horn's skill set, good press man corner. So it does make sense. Maybe O-line would have been better, but there's a lot of players left. So I don't know, all these teams were just pushing back all this O-linemen. And then Patrick Surtain, he went to the Broncos. Corner is definitely not their biggest need, but they also don't got a lot of needs they can address. Maybe Justin Fields would be nice, but they signed Teddy Bridgewater, so maybe they want him to be a starter. So they just get a good corner who can. He probably won't play a bunch in his first year unless injuries happen or he just outplays some players. But in like the second, third year, be a starter and could be very good there. And then the Eagles, they went for Devontae Smith. Yeah, they traded up for this, which is a bit like, yeah, I guess I thought the Giants and or the Cowboys would take a receiver. I don't know if they would have. Maybe the Giants, but I guess they get their receiver. Devontae Smith is a really good receiver, so I do like it, but I feel like they could have maybe stayed put. And then this is where the Bears kind of just, they're like, oh, Justin Fields still on the board, well, let's go jump in front of everybody. So they do that. They trade up. I think it wasn't a horrible trade. The Giants did get a lot of picks, but they get Justin Fields, who's like a generational quarterback. And I think he's a better quarterback than Mitchell Trubisky was coming out of college. And I think that can really keep your team alive, I guess, and not make all the Bear fans as mad as they were with Andy Dalton. And then Micah Parsons to the Cowboys. Yeah, they do have linebackers. They have Van Der Esch and Jalen Smith, but I guess they just thought he was too good to pass up on. Micah Parsons, very talented player, so I don't mind it. And then Rashawn Slater goes to the Chargers. Makes sense. He falls all the way to them. Easy, probably the easiest pick they'd have to make in this draft. And they need another tackle. And then this was a bit weird. The Jets traded up for Elijah Vera Tucker. I thought they would have went for Christian Darrisaw or Tevin Jenkins to place in that right tackle. But I mean, Elijah Vera Tucker probably played guard straight away for them. I feel like they probably gave up a bit too much for a guard. They might have been able to stay put unless they really thought the Vikings would take him. But yeah, personally, not the best pick. And then, geez, the Patriots, they stay put, don't have to trade up. People thought they would have to trade up for Mac Jones. Matt falls to 15 to the Patriots, lands right in their lap, and they take their quarterback for the future. This was a bit of a surprising pick. The Cardinals went for Zaven Collins. There's actually some hype that they could have took him. Like I heard some stuff that they liked Zaven Collins quite a lot, and they clearly do. They took him at 16. There was a bunch of corners on the board, like Greg Newsome. They just really like Zaven Collins supposedly, so I guess they'll use him in a bunch of different ways on that defense. But I don't think it was the best pick they could have made at this point. And then the worst pick in the first round, maybe, before I get to my favorite team, Alex Leatherwood. Like, the Raiders, what are you doing? They do this every single year. They reach for a player that's not a first round talent. Like, he's not the best tackle. And there was Christian Dershaw and Tevin Jenkins, who are both better players straight away. But they take Alex Leatherwood, who probably be a better guard than tackle. He just doesn't handle speed well, like at all. He's a good run blocker. That's kind of it. So, Raiders fans, I feel bad for you because your front office are just killing your team. And then Jalen Phillips goes to the Dolphins. Yeah, I actually predicted this pick in my mock draft, my latest one. And everything else kind of just shambles because this draft was crazy. But Jalen Phillips goes to the Dolphins. Makes sense. They need to replace that edge position. Jalen Phillips has very high upside if he stays healthy. And then Jamin Davis goes to the Washington football team. Yeah, Jamin Davis, it might have been a bit surprising. People thought like JOK would be a better pick. But Jamin Davis probably a better middle linebacker straight away because that's what he played. And is a really good athlete. Is kind of boom or bust in a way. I think he could be really good in this Washington team, and Ron Rivera really coach him up well. And I don't mind it, to be honest. This pick I actually quite like. Kadarius Toney going to the Giants. They get a good speed threat, and he can be a good run after the catch player, which they kind of need. They got Kenny Golladay to be that big jump ball. And they got Darius Slayton kind of be the other deep threat. Not going to really do much Kadarius Toney here because Kadarius Toney is a better slot receiver, can play that straight away, also be your returner. So I thought it was really good. They trade back, pick up Kadarius Toney. I like it. And then Kwity Paye. Yeah, there was tackles on the board that I thought they would have liked. I thought Christian Dershaw would be a better pick personally, but now they could probably take a starting tackle in the second round. They might have to trade up a bit. And Kwity Paye, I do like Kwity Paye. He's my number one edge. And he can really progress into a really good edge defender, I think, in the league. And they really like those really good athletes. And, I mean, that's what Kwity Paye is. And then Titans went for Caleb Farley. Yeah, they take a shot on him. Of course, he's got those injury concerns. But they're just like, oh, we need corner badly. So we take one of the most talented cornerback in the class, like, physically. He's just a really good athlete. And that does not look like Caleb. That is not Caleb Farley in that photo. What are they doing? But Caleb Farley, amazing upside, but also the injuries can hold him back. And then the Vikings, they went for Christian Dershaw. This was a really good pick, to be honest. They traded back from 14, got a bunch of picks. And I think they could have gone for Christian Dershaw at 14. So if they trade all the way back, then that's just a really good steal because Christian Dershaw just falls and falls. Like the tackles are just falling. So they get starting tackles straight away, and that would be really good for their offense. And just a really good pick at that point. And then the Steelers, they went for Najee Harris. Yeah, I predicted this pick also. It made sense. Getting Najee Harris. I know their O-line you could have just... I mean, Tevin Jenkins would actually be a nice pick, to be honest. But Najee Harris, very talented running back. I think he's better than Travis Etienne, and they improved that position. And this was probably a bit surprising. Travis Etienne goes to the Jags. I mean, I feel like they could have just took him in the second round, to be honest. Travis Etienne, I don't know who else would take him, so I don't know why they took him at 25. I do like the compliment to James Robinson and Travis Etienne, but as a running back at 25, like, it's not amazing use of your picks if you're the Jaguars when you're kind of rebuilding to pick a running back. But of course, you got that chemistry of Trevor Lawrence. That probably went into it also. And I think he's going to be a good back. He's not going to get a lot of touches in the running game. He'll be really good at the backfield and really explosive player with amazing like speed and everything. So it's just a good pick. And then the Bears, they went for Browns, they went for Greg Newsome. This is just amazing value, really. Greg Newsome just falls there. They got corners on their roster, but they also don't got a lot of holes, so it just makes sense going for Greg Newsome. So I like the pick. And then the Ravens, they went for Rashad Bateman. Yeah, I also like this pick. So he'd be a good compliment to Hollywood Brown. And they also got Sammy Watkins. So getting Rashad Bateman in there also, that really improves that receiver position. And he's very talented, so I like it. And they had 2 first-round picks. And then the New Orleans Saints, my favorite team, they went for Peyton Turner. Edge out of Houston. Bro, he's not. I hate it. There's so much good player. There's Jeremiah Wusu-Kormo. I would have preferred that pick, definitely. Elijah Moore. That's what I had predicted in my mock. Nope, they don't want to do that. I'm going to let you listen to Sean Payton right now talk about it. And he's like, oh, yeah. Peyton Turner, high upside. Edge wasn't even a big need. Like, position of need was not edge. So Asante Samuel was also there. And he's just not good value at 28 when we have needs on our roster. It's not like just going for good players. But he can be a good player. That's the thing. Like, he does have good upside and was very productive at Houston and really good athlete. But I did not expect this, and it was very surprising. So it's not the worst pick, but it's just also not the best pick of all the players on the board. And then the Packers, they went for Eric Stokes. Yeah, I don't know about it. Like, they do need corner, so it does make sense. Eric Stokes, I don't think he's the best corner really on the board. Asante Samuel, I think, is a better player and would be a better pick. But Eric Stokes is a really good athlete, and he could probably be better than Kevin King. But it's not really going to make Aaron Rodgers want to stay. Maybe you get Elijah Moore in there, and then that would help it out a bit, because Elijah Moore would really help, or Terrace Marshall even. So I think they could have gone for something else, but I don't mind Eric Stokes. Not like going for a quarterback in the first round. And then the Bills, Gregory Rousseau. Yeah, I like it. He's very versatile. He can play on the inside, on the D-line, and on the edge. And the Bills are a really good team for him to go to, because they can use him in so many different ways, and he can learn behind like good veteran players like Jerry Hughes, like Trent Murphy, if he's still there. Is Trent Murphy still there? He might have got caught. I can't remember. But Gregory Rousseau makes sense. This is a good pick because they don't got a lot of needs, so they can go for a player like this. And then second to last pick, Jason Owe. I think Tevin Jenkins would have been a better pick, definitely. Like, Tevin Jenkins still being on the board, that would have just been a steal of a first round. They also need edge, so Jason Owe did make sense for this pick. I don't think it was the best player they could have picked at this point. Definitely not the worst pick they could take. And Jason Owe, yeah, is a very good edge rusher. I think he could progress into that. And Ravens, another good team to coach up. And then Joe Tryon to the Buccaneers with the last pick in the draft. Yeah, they don't got needs really, the Bucks. Like, they could have gone for like Trevor Moehrig, which I had. But Joe Tryon definitely makes sense. Because JPP's getting older. Do have Shaquille Barrett, that's who they locked up. But him and Joe Tryon could be a really good pairing on the edge after JPP leaves. And he can come in like next year for very good rotational reps. That's a really good rotational player you get on that edge also. And just a really good athlete. So I think he does need to learn behind some good players to really tap into his full potential. So it makes sense going to a team like the Bucks. And massive upside, to be honest. He could be a really good player in the league. So I like it. So this was the draft, the first round. So we got the second round tomorrow. I'll do a mock draft for it. So yeah, that will be fun. because there's a lot of really good players still left in this draft. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed and stay tuned for the second round. And I'm freaking tired. I got school in 2 hours, been up all night because I'm in America. I'm not in America. What the heck? I'm in Britain, so like it's 5:35. I've literally got school soon. I've been up all night, and my voice sounds weird. Like I'm not even speaking, so I don't know. And if you're still around to this point, make sure to like and subscribe.